All right, today we're going to do a straightforward dive into the biology of the male reproductive system. We're going to explore what it is, see how all its different parts work together as a team, and, most importantly, talk about how to keep it all healthy.
Now, right off the bat, let's be super clear. This is all about biology. It's science. Just like learning about your heart, your lungs, or your brain, understanding the reproductive system is just a key part of health education. Seriously, knowing how your body works is powerful stuff. So let's get into it.
So, what does this whole system actually do? Well, it's not just one thing. It's kind of like a team with three primary jobs. Let's break down that mission before we actually tour all the different parts.
Okay, so job number one, it's a factory. Its main goal is producing sperm cells. Job number two, it's a delivery service, responsible for getting that sperm where it needs to go. And job number three, a big one, is that it's a hormone producer, making testosterone, which is what kicks off all those major changes during puberty, like your voice getting deeper.
So with those three main jobs in mind, let's go on a little tour of the anatomy. We're going to see how each part plays a really specific role to make the whole system run like a well-oiled machine.
Our tour starts at the testicles, also called the testes. You can think of these as the headquarters for the whole operation. They're basically multitasking all the time, producing sperm and manufacturing that key hormone we just mentioned, testosterone.
Next up is the scrotum. Now, this is way more than just a protective pouch. It's actually a brilliant little climate control system. See, for sperm to be produced correctly, they need to be at a temperature that's just a little bit cooler than the rest of the body. The scrotum nails this by relaxing when it's warm and tightening up when it's cold. Pretty smart, right?
So after the sperm get produced in the testicles, they move right next door to a place called the epididymis. The best way to think about this is like a boot camp or a training ground. It's this long, coiled tube where the sperm hang out and mature until they're ready to, well, swim properly.
All right, so once the sperm are fully trained and ready to go, they need a way to travel, and that's the job of the vas deferens. This is basically the sperm highway. It's a long tube that carries the mature sperm away from their training ground and up into the body for the next leg of their journey.
Now, along that highway, the sperm are going to need some supplies. This is where a couple of key glands jump in. First, you've got the seminal vesicles. They add a sugary fluid, which is basically like a high-energy sports drink for the sperm. Then, the prostate gland adds a protective fluid that acts kind of like a shield, helping the sperm survive the journey.
So when you take that energy drink fluid and that protective shield fluid and mix them together, you get what's called seminal fluid. And once that seminal fluid mixes with the actual sperm, that whole combination is what we call semen.
The final exit route from the body is the urethra. Now, this tube does double duty. It carries both urine and semen. But the body has this really clever internal valve that acts like a traffic cop, making sure that it's strictly one or the other. They never, ever pass through at the same time.
And of course, the urethra runs through the penis, which is the external organ that's designed to deliver semen outside the body. It's also important to know that erections are a completely natural and automatic bodily function. It's just biology at work.
Okay, understanding all the parts is step one. But now let's talk about health, because just like with any system in your body, sometimes things can go wrong, and knowing what to look out for is absolutely key.
So here's a quick rundown of some things to just be aware of. Testicular torsion is a sudden twisting that cuts off blood flow. This one is a true medical emergency. Then there's testicular cancer, which is very treatable, especially when it's caught early, which is why self-checks are so important. Infections can cause swelling or pain, and you'll always want to see a doctor for that. Hernias might show up as a bulge in the groin area. And lastly, prostate issues are pretty common, but that's usually something that happens much later in life.
But enough about potential problems, let's switch gears to the positive, proactive side of things. The really good news is that taking care of this system is actually pretty straightforward. It all comes down to 4 simple steps. First, if you play sports, wear protective gear like an athletic cup. It's a no-brainer. Second, practice good hygiene. Simple but effective. Third, avoid wearing clothes that are super tight all the time. Remember that whole climate control thing we talked about? This helps with that. And finally, and this is the most important one, get regular checkups and listen to your body. If anything ever feels painful or swollen or just wrong, talk to a doctor.
And, this really brings us to the big takeaway here. Understanding how our bodies work isn't just for passing a science test. It's what gives us the power to take better care of ourselves, to make smart decisions. So it leaves us with a question. How does having this knowledge empower you to live a healthier life? Because that is the real power of understanding biology.